The editing, the editing, the editing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be a really good opportunity to just tell you guys who my favourite photographers are and just show you some of their work and why I love them, why they inspire me, and etc, etc. Especially during this time, not many photographers are able to do a lot of work right now, so might as well shout out a few that I love and you guys can go and support them. And yeah, so without further ado, I'll get right into the video. So I tried to select a few different styles of photographers, just to have like a good variation. So you'll see how different each photographer is during this video. But in no particular order, I'll start off with DIANE VILLADSEN. Okay, there's gonna be a few names in this video that I don't think I'll be able to pronounce properly, but please forgive me. But I absolutely love her style of photography. The whole thought process of each picture and the colours that she uses, it's amazing. I love how she uses really bold colours, but then in the editing process she kind of mutes them down a little bit, so it almost looks, it's just like very pastel, like a pastel coloured theme going on. But I love the style because it sort of feels fake. Like, it feels almost like a cartoon. It's very like Wes Anderson feels. To be honest, I just love Wes Anderson, so I think there's a lot of photographers that I include in here that kind of have that kind of Wes Anderson-esque thing going on. But I just love the poses, and in certain pictures she'll have them wearing the exact same outfit, and it's very symmetrical and a lot of like repetitive patterns or poses, and the contrasting colours. She also has a YouTube account which I'll link in here as well, and that's where she kind of shows how she edits, so definitely have a look at that if you love her style. But yeah, love her. Another photographer that has that sort of pop art kind of look, his name is GYASI. Again, I don't know if I pronounced that right, forgive me, but his photography is insane. Like, it's kind of similar style to DIANE in the sense that it's very colourful and very like pop art in your face, but his way of editing is very like contrasted. I'm just obsessed with the colours that he uses, is insane. The skin tones of his models are just, oh my goodness, just look at the glow on their skin. It's like the sun is just radiating from within. Like, I just absolutely cannot. And yeah, the poses are just really abstract. If you love this kind of style, give them a follow. So the next photographer that I really like, his name is Ogale. He's got some beautiful pictures on his page. What I love about certain photographers' Instagram pages, I really appreciate when it's aesthetically pleasing, but it also just flows really nicely, and you can, as soon as you look at their page, you can tell what kind of style they have, what kind of look they're going for. He's got very like muted tones, very light pastel. It's just very clean. When you look at his page, it's all his pictures. Every single picture is clean. It's not a lot going on. Very simple, but very thought out. Just certain angles that he takes his pictures in, or even certain pictures that he takes, is you don't really think of taking those. Like, I'll throw you some pictures out there of what I mean. Certain pictures he takes, it's almost like behind the scenes pictures where you wouldn't think to use it, but it just comes out so good. And again, I love like the symmetry, the repetitive patterns that he uses in the people. Like, they'll all be wearing the same outfit, all posing the same, and just, you can tell each picture is very well thought out. Like, he has thought about what kind of look he wants. He's planned it. It's not just a rush shoot. Like, it's very curated. I just feel like some of his pictures are so powerful as well. Like, it's so simple, but it says so much. it's just insane. I just love, like, he is definitely one of my very favorite photographers. Insane, 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 insane. Principality. He's a good friend of mine. I love his stuff. And before I even met him, I was already following him on Instagram because I just thought his stuff was so sick. He does a lot of videography, like travel videography. He's also got a YouTube, I'll link it, watch his videos, they're amazing. He's just sick at editing video. If I can get to that level one day, I'll be very happy. But his pictures as well, he does a lot of like travel photography, of portraits of people. Just, that's the street photography, that's what I'm trying to say. It's just so cool, like he catches people off guard, which I love. It's just like in the moment, or it's almost like they're shocked, like wasn't expecting him to be there and he's just taking a picture. But I just think it's really cool, and I love how he mixes his love of photography with architecture. I love architecture myself. I just think when you find buildings with really interesting shapes and things like that, it can kind of inspire you. It can give you ideas looking at buildings and architecture. And I just love the pictures he's taken of buildings as well, and including people in them. And I think what I love about his photography when it comes to people is he's capturing the emotion and the moment in each picture. It's not staged. He just happened to be there at the right time to get that emotion across in his pictures, which I love. Yeah, it feels like the pictures that he takes of people, it's like you can see the story behind their eyes. It's like you're almost telling the story yourself. I kind of wish that he interviewed them, because just in those pictures it says so much. It's like you kind of want to know, you want to get to know more, you want to hear more from the pictures. Now a photographer that I really like is called A.O. Stevens. This Instagram is so cool. I just love the extreme angles. It's very, I don't know if he shoots maybe in like a 24mm lens or something, but it's very wide. It's very wide and very extreme, but I love it. It's just so different. The colours, do you know what, I've realised that I'm really into bold colours. A lot of the photographers that I love are the ones that do very interesting colour coordination, like contrasting. But I just love, mainly for his type of photography, it's the angles that say everything in his pictures. The angles, the posing is so different. Yeah, it's just very quirky, very out there, very editorial. It's like it should be in like a fashion magazine. Maybe he does do fashion photography, I don't even know. But I just love what he does, and I love how he edits as well. But yeah, just scrolling through his Instagram, it just draws your eye in straight away. You just can't stop scrolling because there's so many cool pictures. Just the editing, it's just so good. Like, honestly, I feel like learning from these photographers is one thing, taking sick pictures first of all, but some people, the way they edit just transforms the picture. It's already a good picture, then they edit it and it's just so creative. I think editing is a really fun part of photography. You can really experiment and really manipulate the picture to how you want it to look like, and I just think if you can get into editing and practice editing, it'll be so fun. Like, there's so much you can learn and experiment with, and you can start to find your own style once you get into editing as well. And last but not least, it is Cheyenne BOYA. I think I have pronounced that okay. Yeah, me and pronouncing these names are not going well. Sorry for the 10th time. But yeah, I love, like, her photography is really cool. And again, as soon as you go into her page, you can see what kind of style she has. The colour scheme is very brown, warm, like a sunset, like a summer's evening. That kind of feel when you look at her pictures. The way it's edited, the colour scheme. Yeah, I love how her pictures look all together, like as a collection. It just makes sense. Like, when you go on the page, it just looks good. And it almost gives that kind of old vibe. Like, it feels like we're in the past. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the style of her pictures reminds me of like a portrait of my great grandma. Like, you know, that kind of colour scheme where, I don't know, it's like, I think it's the skin tones and things, the way it's edited, it just gives me like old school vibes. But it's a really cool style, it's really different. And yeah, she poses her models really well. And also the pictures are pretty intense as well, like her subjects are like looking directly into the lens, and it just makes you almost feel a little bit awkward, which I kind of like. It's almost like you're stepping a bit too close to someone, but it just gives like a really raw feel to the pictures. Yeah, I just love the whole landscape of her page, and it's not just faces but also probably from the scene of where she's done the shoot, and it's just all the colours just linked together really nicely. It almost looks like a mood board. It's like she's got her pictures out, but also the pictures surrounding the portraits. It's almost like a mood board of how she even got to that picture, if that makes sense. So you can see like a lot of her maybe inspiration or her style, but I love it. It's really cool. Yeah, so those are a few of my favorite photographers. It's so hard to just say a handful because there are so many good photographers out there. There's so many good photographers that I follow that I just get loads of inspiration from, but these are just a few that I really like, and hopefully you guys like them as well. But yeah, don't forget to support your friends' businesses and their creative journeys. So if there's any of your favourite photographers, or maybe a good friend of yours that takes amazing pictures, please comment them down below so I can have a look at their Instagram or their website. I would love to see more amazing creative people. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.